Hello, dear viewers of my channel and the readers of my book Azbuka Istini, ABC of Truth. I'm shooting the third part of the second movie. Today, we will talk about the Cossacks, the ideology of Ruse, and the military oath. At the moment, you already know that the real faith of Ruse was replaced. In the times of Nikon's reform, you are able to use the ray of Apostle Andrew during the determination of the coordinates. 66.6 is the degree of the angle of inclination of the Earth axis to the ecliptic of Ra. You know that the altars of the temples are designed to monitor sunrise and calendaring. You are able to work in the sanctuary with the Kossian day, and you know that the true faith of Ruse is Kulu Ra or Kultura, culture. That Ra means a real 13 ecliptic constellations. The pride of the restored friendly comradeship state described in Nikolai Gogol's book Taras Bulba, his real Cossackdom will live a new life. The real Cossackdom was destroyed by the Romanovs and buried by the Soviet authorities, although the fellowship, the comradeship of the Cossacks and the Soviet idea of life are practically the same. They just didn't know it. Cossack travesties do not remember their roots and their idea of existence for a long time. They walk like clowns with icons, not knowing their meaning. The real Cossacks were formed as a regular Rus army long before the Romanovs. The Romanovs have nothing to do with the formation of the Cossacks. It's like the Russian Navy is 320 years old and the Russian Navy knows the campaigns to the Constantinople. Like Catherine signed the decree on the foundation of the Russian Cossacks. There was Russian Cossackdom, so there was a decree by the Russian Cossacks. It's funny. It's no secret that the first betrayal of the Cossacks was when the Romanovs came to the throne. It was a small band of Cossacks who betrayed the little 4-year-old Rurikovich and gave him up for hanging. So after all, the Cossacks existed before the arrival of the non-Christians. So who are they? Are they real Cossacks? Open any reference information and read about decossakization in Tsar Russia. This is how Rus Cossacks were decossakized. Then the Russian Cossacks were formed out of it. Check out and see for yourself how many Cossack divisions were in the troops of RGKA in Soviet times. The word Cossack comes from the word Kasat, Old Rus language, seem, resemble. Remember George the Victorious with a spear in his hands? Remember the cartridge belt sewn on a Circassian coat, previously described purpose of the scepter and state. It was from the spear, Q, pointer, that the word Kasat and the word treasury, Kaznacheystvo, Kazna, had been formed. Along the entire apostolic line on all the routes, for example, from the Varangians to Greeks down the Dnieper up to the Gulf Stream, the regular fleet of Rus with the Cossacks was organized. The Cossacks collected the treasury. Cossacks are the regular army of Rus. The word barracks or kasarma in Rus even suggests that the army of Cossacks lived in Arma. Catherine allegedly made them free, flirting and fawning over them. The Cossacks bought into the wheel, forgetting that Russia was already friendly, without slavery, that they are Rus, not Russians. And how many Cossacks did not betray their atheistic and natural philosophy faith and fled? They fled to Ukraine, Turkey, and then fought with the Muscovites. Time had erased the real true faith from memory. The betrayal had done its job. What the real Cossacks are now, Those who betrayed Russia and laid under the Romanovs, or those who went under the Soviets? And here the answer is simple. Those who became Soviet Cossacks are the betrayals. The only trouble is that the Cossack fellows at the time forgot the ancient icons are atheistic and natural philosophy means no crosses. The whole trouble of the Soviet government is that it failed to regain its fellow churches and faith. The people no longer remember the true faith of Ruse, and so they had the poisoned Romanov faith, which had its real roots in Russia. The Romanov tried their best to erase everyone the memory. It worked out. The Soviet Cossacks are real as they are friendly, they are comrades, as in Russia. But the Ruse ones, it turned out they are treacherous, traitors of the fellowship and the slave masters of the obscurantist ideology of the Jewish faith. It was difficult to make Russian out of Ruse. Thanks to the creators of our language, the truth and essence are revealed. However, Lomonosov might try to break native speakers and turn Ruse into Russian. The essence of the language is easily deciphered. Kazakh, Kazat, Kazna, Kazarma or barracks, treasury. There are too many words that you will discover based on these three letters. Kaz. Kazat means to indicate using a Q in the word Ruski, Russian, to lead the waterway to collect the treasury. After the Q spare, the Cossack has a gun and a cannon, respectively kazirs, on the chest of the Cossack's uniform, and separate shopping bags with the measured tubes of the gunpowder for quick loading of the gun or cannon. The word magazine, Ruse, stands from here. To get a trump card is to get a gazir. Read about the development of the Cossacks and the appearance of the next type of weapon from these new words by yourself in my book. Many sets of evidence that the Romanovs didn't have time to erase still exist. Do you know why we are called Muscovites? Just for betraying the great Ruse. It was the Romanovs who proclaimed Moscovia and then renamed it to Russia. We need to understand and stop our hatred for each other, forgive each other, throw the Torah out of our temples, and finally live in friendship, harmony, and peace. We need to return the Russian Cossacks and their skipper and state, pointer and weight. The cross on the red cloth of the headdress is the steam jack, the designation of the vertical and horizontal for the work of the apostle ray to determine the coordinates. Alfred the Great, who ruled from 870 to 901 in England, built British ships when Russian ships were already fighting in the sea battles. There is a lot of evidence in the libraries around the world of Alfred's statements about the greatness of the Russian fleet. The first sailors of their time were they, the Cossacks of Ruse, with another chasm, or kil, for soft, the name of the Russian letter. I whitewashed the idea of socialism in my book with the fellowship and comradeship, and I proved that this has always been in our roots. The idea is fair and pure. Not knowing what's really going on, churches do not have anything to do with the Christianity, but they made the Christianity in Ruse and forced people to take up arms and defend their social justice, rejecting their own churches. The Inquisition did a good job, I must admit, and we did not remember anything now. But if we had this knowledge, everything would have been bloodless. Why did we lose our knowledge from Ruse? Why do we not remember about the traditions and teachings of our fathers? Why did we start thinking about our stomach more than about our honor? Why have we become a ruthless cattle? and it's not in the past. Do you understand what is happening now to each of us? It's not in those times that traitors did their job. It was always like this. What have you taught your kids and grandchildren? My fellow men, I am addressing to you now. Remember the text of your oath, of your military oath, the Soviet oath, where you swore to Soviet motherland, to the people and to the government of the Soviet Union, the modern oath of the state with a forbidden ideology, the constitutional system of Russia, the people and the fatherland. But still, let's look at the current military oath in more detail. The constitutional system of Russia, the people and the fatherland. According to the constitution, Russia is a social state. This concept has the following meaning. It is a state whose policy is aimed at creating conditions ensuring a decent life and free development for any human. So, not actual equality, which leads to the equality in poverty, but the equal promotion of the welfare of all the citizens, and the maximum possible things, even the distribution of life's hardships. This is the task of the state of socialism. Next task is about people. Remember, the only all-union referendum in the entire history of the USSR took place on March the 17th, 1999 in the Soviet Union, and it discussed the issue of preserving the USSR as a renewed federation of equal sovereign republics. On March 21st, 1991, the Supreme Soviet of the USSR reviewed the preliminary results of the referendum and noted that 113 million people voted for the preservation of the Soviet Union, or 76% of those who voted. The fatherland is next. Fatherland means a native country. The concept of fatherland refers to the country of ancestors, fathers of a person, and often it has an emotional subtext, implying that some people feel a special feeling for the fatherland, which combines love and the sense of duty, patriotism. That is, the comrade equality of Ruse and Soviets. Well, where is the concept that the oath is for the masters and for the Jewish church? I told you all this answering the question why we've lost the great Ruse and our knowledge, why our teaching had been erased. The documents of the state are the same, but in fact it's different. The visibility is one, but the reality is different. They tell you one thing and do another. They declared the real Rurik Dmitry a liar. And they themselves locked themselves in power, surrounded by traitors, sycophants, and carried out the power of the Nikon reform, killing millions of Rus people. Yes, relying on the traitors Cossacks, they killed the Russian people with their own hands. Millions of people had been forced to betray the Russian fatherland and the motherland. So who are you, Muscovite Romanov Cossacks? Can you really be called Cossacks? What do you bring to your people now, except that you drink too much and wear substituted Jewish icons of the Crusaders on substituted holidays? I appeal to all the sons of the fatherland. Remember your real comrade homeland, described by Nikolai Gogol in the story Taras Bulba. Raise your children and grandchildren in a proper way. Mothers, choose your husbands in a correct way, so that you could be proud of them, so that they remembered their military oath and do not spoil their honor. Parents, you are the bearers of the traditions of your homeland. So this is the end of my second movie. Thank you for your attention. You can purchase my book Azbuka Istini or ABC of Truth and store it in each family, and may all the good come to your family.